one day is a phrase that we've all heard and we've all said. One day I'll start that business. One day I'll lose the weight. One day I'll follow my dreams. But here's the reality: one day is a myth. It is a comforting illusion that allows us to postpone our potential. It is a lie wrapped in good intentions. One day is the biggest excuse we use to delay the life we are truly meant to live. The truth is, there is no one day. There is only day one, the moment you decide to start. The moment you take the first step. That's what changes everything. All great journeys begin not with massive leaps, but with small decisions. And those decisions are made not on some perfect day that magically appears on the calendar, but in ordinary moments when we simply decide to no longer delay our dreams. You are not waiting for a perfect opportunity. You are delaying because you fear the imperfect start. But here's the thing: nothing begins perfectly. No masterpiece was painted without a first uncertain stroke. No champion became great without showing up on the first day, unsure but committed. If you wait for the perfect time, you'll never start. And if you never start, you'll never succeed. So you have a choice today, a real one. You can keep saying one day, or you can declare that this is day one of taking ownership of your life. Day one of refusing to be ruled by fear, procrastination, or excuses. Day one of moving with purpose even when it's uncomfortable. Day one of demanding more from yourself. Your life does not change when the calendar flips. It changes when your mindset shifts, and that shift can happen right now. It starts with a decision that your goals matter, that your dreams are worth the discomfort, that your growth is more important than your comfort zone. Every great thing that will ever happen in your life begins with the courage to say, "This is day one. I'm no longer waiting. I'm no longer hoping. I'm no longer pretending I have forever." You don't. Time is not guaranteed. The clock is ticking whether you move or not. So you might as well move. You might as well start. And when you do, momentum will build. One action leads to the next. Progress fuels motivation. And before you know it, what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. But here's the thing: day one is hard because it forces you to confront your reality. It reveals how long you've waited. It brings to light the fears you've buried, the insecurities you've tried to mask. But facing that discomfort is necessary. It is the entry fee to growth. It's the toll you pay to get on the road to transformation. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you dare to act even when you don't feel ready, because readiness is not a requirement, it's a result of action. You don't wait to feel ready, you act, and then readiness follows. Stop romanticizing the idea of someday. It's not a destination, it's a distraction. Stop idolizing the people who seem to have it all figured out. They didn't start at the top. They started at day one just like you must. The difference is, they chose to start. They chose to keep showing up even when it was hard, even when no one believed in them, even when they failed, because day one is not about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about showing up again and again, no matter how messy the process gets. Discipline is built on day one. Confidence is built on day one. Mastery begins on day one. You don't get better by thinking. You get better by doing. Action is the cure for doubt, the antidote to fear, the key to progress. You will never think your way into the life you want. You must act your way into it. That means doing the work, showing up when it's inconvenient, pushing through resistance, believing in yourself even when there's no evidence yet. And every time you do, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. Each day you choose action over excuses, you strengthen that identity. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you want to quit, days when progress feels invisible, days when you wonder if it's even worth it, but those are the days that matter most, because that's where growth is forged, that's where resilience is born, that's where your future is written. You're not behind. You're not too late, But you must begin, and you must begin now. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes, not because the task changes, but because your mindset weakens. Delay drains your belief. It builds a habit of hesitation. And every time you say later, you reinforce the idea that your dreams aren't urgent, that your goals aren't important, that your potential can wait. But it can't, because the life you want is on the other side of action, not thought. This is your wake-up call, your permission to stop waiting, your invitation to begin, not next week, not next month, now. This moment is your moment, not because everything is perfect, but because you're finally ready to stop settling, ready to stop making excuses, ready to stop living small. You are capable of more. You know it, you feel it, but you must act on it. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to hand you your dream. It's your job to build it, to commit to it, to protect it, to nurture it, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Day one is not glamorous. It's not always inspiring. Sometimes it's just showing up when you don't feel like it. Putting in the reps, doing the boring work, making the tough choices. But that's where real success is built. Not in the highlight reels, but in the unseen hours, the quiet discipline, the relentless consistency. That's what separates the average from the exceptional, not talent, not luck, but the courage to begin and the discipline to continue. You already have what you need. You don't need more time, more resources, more validation. You need a decision, a choice to say, enough is enough. I'm not waiting anymore. Your dreams are not random. They are a reflection of your potential, and they are waiting for you to show up, to meet them with action, to give them life. Don't rob the world of your gifts by staying silent. Don't rob yourself of fulfillment by staying still. The cost of inaction is regret, and regret is a heavier burden than any failure. There is power in this moment, in this breath, in this decision. Declare that this is your day one, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Not because you're fearless, but because you're done letting fear win. Progress isn't about speed, it's about direction. Choose the right direction. Choose growth over comfort, action over hesitation, discipline over distractions. There will never be a better time to begin than now. Not because conditions are perfect, but because you finally understand that perfection is not required. So what are you waiting for? What more do you need to know? You already know what you need to do. The question is, will you do it? Will you let one day control you, or will you rise and declare this moment as day one? That choice defines everything, your future, your growth, your fulfillment. They are all shaped by this moment, by this decision. Don't let another day slip by. Don't let another excuse win. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the architect of your future. Build something worth living for. Create something worth fighting for, and it all starts today. The journey won't be linear. It won't be perfect, but it will be yours, and that's what makes it powerful. You are capable of more than you know. But potential means nothing without execution. Dreams mean nothing without action, and time means nothing without urgency. So move now, today. Make this your day one, not someday, not later. Now, this is your reminder that everything can change the moment you decide to start. Not tomorrow, not after you feel ready. Now, today, this second. Action is the turning point. Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. Confidence is born from doing, not waiting. You are not too old. You are not too young. You are not too late. You are right on time, but only if you act now. Every second you wait, the gap between who you are and who you could be grows. But every second you act, you close that gap. You align with your potential. You become who you are meant to be. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs more doers. People willing to start, willing to struggle, willing to grow, willing to show up again and again, no matter how long it takes. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Don't wait for approval. Approve of yourself. Don't wait for guarantees. Bet on your effort. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, from hunger, From vision, let that fuel you. This is not a small decision. It's the most important one you'll ever make, because when you choose day one, you choose a new identity, a new standard, a new path. One rooted in purpose, progress, and persistence. That path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. One day or day one, the difference is everything. Choose wisely, choose boldly, choose now. Because once you choose to make today your day one, something powerful happens inside you. You start to shift from hoping to creating, from dreaming to building, from doubting to doing. The fears that used to paralyze you begin to shrink under the weight of your momentum. The doubts that used to dominate your thoughts start to lose their power. Why? Because action silences fear. Action drowns out doubt. When you move, you start to prove to yourself that you're not a prisoner of your circumstances, but a creator of your future. Understand this. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. They may have shaped you, but they do not define you. What defines you is what you do next. What defines you is the decision you make right now. There are people with less talent, fewer resources, and more obstacles who have still created incredible lives because they started. Not because they had the perfect strategy, but because they had the right mindset. I will not wait any longer. I will act, I will grow, I will become. Starting is hard because it forces you to break patterns. It makes you question the habits that have become comfortable. But those very habits are what have kept you stuck. And if you want change, you must be willing to disrupt your normal. You must be willing to become uncomfortable, to take risks, to try and fail and try again. That's where transformation happens. Not in the planning, not in the wishing, but in the doing. You must see yourself as the hero of your own story, not a victim of your environment. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you dream of. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And that's the beauty of it. You have the power. You are in control. Your life changes the moment you decide it does. Not when circumstances shift. Not when someone gives you permission. But when you decide, this is my day one, the reason most people never reach their potential is not because they're incapable, but because they keep waiting, waiting for a sign, waiting for motivation, waiting for things to feel just right. But success doesn't wait for you. It rewards the ones who take action in spite of their fears. It rewards the ones who start, stumble, and keep going. It rewards the bold, the persistent, the consistent. It rewards the ones who understand that day one doesn't have to feel perfect to be powerful. Your future self is watching you. A year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You'll either be proud of this moment or wish you'd done something different. You'll either thank yourself for starting or you'll regret continuing to wait. And that's a choice you get to make today, not tomorrow, not next month, right now, because what you do today echoes for years to come. There's nothing wrong with having big dreams. In fact, you should dream big. But dreaming is not enough. Dreaming without action is just fantasy. To bring your dream to life, you must show up every single day and do the work, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's what builds success. That's what builds strength. Not giant leaps, but daily steps. Not overnight change, but relentless effort. You will be tempted to quit. You will hear that inner voice saying it's not working, that it's too late, that it's not worth it. Don't listen, that voice is not your truth. It's your fear, and fear loses its power when you act in spite of it. Don't feed the voice of fear. Feed the voice of courage, of faith, of purpose. Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the life you're building, the person you're becoming, because that version of you, the one who has achieved your goals, they are not some distant fantasy. They are built by the actions you take starting now. Your greatest breakthroughs will often come after your greatest doubts. Your biggest wins will often follow your biggest struggles. That's the pattern of progress. It tests you before it rewards you. It asks, how bad do you want it? And if your answer is bad enough to keep showing up, even when it's tough, then the reward will come, not all at once, not without sacrifice, but it will come, because effort compounds, discipline compounds, momentum compounds, and what starts as a small spark on day one can become an unstoppable fire if you keep going. Don't let the world convince you that you need to have it all figured out before you start. You don't. You need one thing, the willingness to begin, the willingness to be a beginner, to look awkward, to feel unsure, because all mastery begins with imperfection. All progress begins with uncertainty. You grow through the doing, through the failing, through the adapting. That's where your power is. You will have critics. You will have doubters. You will have days when it feels like no one understands your journey. That's okay, because this is your journey, your mission, your life. Not everyone will see what you see. Not everyone will believe in what you're building. But as long as you believe and as long as you keep going, that's enough. Let your results be your response. Let your actions speak louder than any words. Let your persistence drown out their doubt. Every excuse you've ever made has the same root: fear, fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort. But you must understand this. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Growth lives in the discomfort. Strength lives in the challenge. Success lives beyond the fear. So don't run from it. Walk through it, one step at a time, one day at a time. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that the only thing standing between you and your dreams was your decision to start. Imagine the regret of knowing you could have had more, done more, become more, if only you'd begun. Don't let that be your story. Let your story be one of action, of bravery, of transformation. Let your story be the one where you finally said, I'm done waiting. This is my day one. You may not control the outcome. You may not know exactly where the road will lead, but you do control the beginning, and beginnings have power. They are declarations, statements of intent. The moment you begin, you tell the world, and yourself, that you are serious, that you are ready, that you will not be held back by the past. You are choosing your future. You are creating your legacy. You are building something that matters. So stop waiting for the right time. The right time is the moment you decide to begin. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. You are the only one who needs to say yes. Stop waiting for perfect clarity. Clarity comes through movement. Stop waiting for more confidence. Confidence comes from action. Everything you think you need more of is already available to you. You just have to move, decide, commit. There's magic in day one, not because it's easy, not because it's glamorous, but because it's real, because it's honest, because it's the day you stop lying to yourself, the day you stop pretending that more time will make you braver, the day you finally say, no more waiting, no more wasting, I start today. That's when everything changes. That's when momentum is born. That's when transformation begins. So let this be your declaration. Let this be the moment you choose courage over comfort, progress over perfection, growth over fear. Let this be your day one, not just once, but every day. Because each day is a new beginning, a new opportunity, a new chance to move forward. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed, committed to the vision, committed to the process, committed to the journey. Because the truth is, there's nothing more powerful than a person who has decided. Not a person who is still thinking about it. Not a person who is still planning or talking or dreaming. A person who has decided to move, to act, to start. That person becomes a force of nature. That's the power of day one. It transforms intention into movement. It flips potential into momentum. It replaces fear with action. And from that very first move, a new path unfolds. You don't have to see the entire staircase to take the first step. That first step may be small. It may feel insignificant. but it is the most important one you will ever take because it breaks inertia. It ends the cycle of one day. It disrupts the pattern of waiting and wishing. Most people never take that step. They live their whole lives in almost started, almost tried, almost changed, but almost never made anyone proud, almost never changed the world, almost never built a legacy. What builds legacies is movement. What builds pride is commitment. You can't keep living in pause. You weren't designed for stand, by mode. You are designed to evolve, to progress, to reach higher, to become someone that even your past self couldn't have imagined. But you can't get there if you stay stuck in a loop of delay. Every day you delay, you lose something. You lose time, you lose confidence. You lose alignment with who you truly are. The more you wait, the more you believe the lie that you need to wait. You don't need a massive breakthrough to change your life. You need a small shift in mindset, multiplied by consistent action. Day one is not just a date. It's a decision, a line you draw in the sand, a personal revolution, a refusal to carry the same excuses into the next chapter of your life. Look at your habits, look at your routines, look at your thoughts. Ask yourself, are these leading me to the life I want? And if not, then today is the day to choose again. No one ever regrets starting. They may regret how long they waited. They may regret not being consistent. But starting, that's the one thing people always look back on with gratitude, because it sets everything else into motion. Starting is a signal to yourself and to the world that you are serious, that you are no longer going to live on the sidelines, that you are no longer okay with less than what you're capable of. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one day. You don't need to get it all right from the beginning. You just need to begin with one habit, one promise to yourself, one brave step forward. It could be writing the first page, making the first call, going to the first workout, waking up on time, saying no to what no longer serves you, saying yes to what makes you grow. These moments may seem small, but they compound. They create a rhythm, a foundation. They form the backbone of who you are becoming. And as you grow, you begin to realize that starting once isn't enough. Day one is not just about a single event, it's a mind. You wake up with every day. Every morning is a new chance to recommit. Every sunrise is an invitation to become. And that's the secret. Successful people don't just have one day one. They have many. They wake up every day and treat it like a new beginning. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They act in alignment with who they want to be, not just how they feel in the moment. The truth is, your feelings will lie to you. They will tell you to stay in bed. They will tell you to put it off. They will tell you that today isn't the right day. But growth doesn't wait for the perfect mood. Transformation doesn't happen when it's convenient. It happens when you act in spite of how you feel, when you honor your commitments more than your comfort, when you become disciplined enough to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. There's freedom in discipline, there's clarity in action, there's peace in progress. You don't need everything to fall into place before you move. You move and things begin to fall into place. One step leads to another. One decision inspires the next, and over time you look back and realize that everything started on a day just like this, when you simply decided to begin. Make no mistake, there will be setbacks. There will be days when you fall short, when you question yourself, when you feel like quitting. But if you remember that every day is a new day one, you'll never stay down for long. You'll get back up. You'll recommit. You'll rise again and again and again. That is the heart of resilience, not perfection but persistence, not flawless execution but unwavering effort. You will surprise yourself. The strength you think you don't have is inside you, waiting to be awakened. The discipline you think you lack can be built. The confidence you envy in others can be earned, and it all begins with starting, not once, but over and over. Choosing growth again and again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And when you've walked this path long enough, when you've turned enough day ones into days of progress, you begin to feel something incredible. You begin to feel pride. not the kind of pride that needs to be seen or praised, but the deep, quiet kind, the kind that lives in your chest and whispers, "I did this, I didn't quit, I kept showing up." That feeling, that's worth more than applause, more than recognition. That's the feeling of self-respect, of knowing you honored your own potential. So here's the truth: you will never feel fully ready, but readiness is not a prerequisite, decision is. You will never find the perfect time, but perfect timing is not the goal. Progress is. You may not feel brave, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is movement despite fear, and you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to do something today, because this moment, right now, is the gateway to the life you've always wanted. It doesn't matter how long you've been stuck. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed. It doesn't matter who doubted you, who walked away, who counted you out. What matters is that you're still here, still breathing, still capable of beginning, and as long as you can begin, you still have power. You still have a say in the direction your life takes. That's what day one gives you: ownership. It returns the wheel to your hands. You might not be where you want to be yet. You might feel far from your goals, uncertain, overwhelmed, but no matter how far the destination, every journey starts with a step, and the step you take today might not be flashy. It might not be impressive to others, but it's not for them. It's for you. It's for the part of you that knows you're made for more, the part of you that refuses to settle, the part of you that's tired of pretending you're okay with waiting for one day. You've been preparing for this. Every hardship you've faced, every lesson you've learned, every night you couldn't sleep because your soul was restless, all of it was preparing you for this choice, this moment, this decision to act. Life has been shaping you into someone strong enough to rise, but rising requires a response. Rising is not accidental, it is deliberate. It begins with a bold, unapologetic declaration: "This is my day one, and I will not go back to who I used to be." Let the past be what it was. It may have tried to break you, it may have disappointed you, but it also refined you. You are not behind. You are right on time for a new beginning. Nothing has been wasted. Not the pain, not the delay, not the detours. Everything can be fuel for your forward motion if you allow it to be. Because when you finally decide to stop being the person who waits and start being the person who moves, you redeem every moment that led to this one. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need external validation to make your start meaningful. Your decision is enough. Your determination is enough. You are enough right here, right now. This journey is about becoming the kind of person who lives with purpose, who acts with courage, who refuses to let fear hold the pen that writes their story. You are the author, and day one is the first blank page of the chapter that changes everything. So write boldly, live with fire, move with intention, speak to yourself like someone you believe in. Stop saying, "I can't," replace it with "I'm trying." Stop saying, "It's too late." Replace it with "Now is the best time," because the way you speak to yourself matters. The thoughts you repeat become your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your identity. And when you start thinking like someone who takes action, you become someone who does. You won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel strong, but discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. Vision will carry you when emotions waver, and habits will carry you when life gets messy. Build those habits, guard that vision. Feed your discipline. Your dream is not just something you hope for. It's something you are building, brick by brick, choice by choice, moment by moment. Every act of effort is a vote for the person you want to become. And remember, the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. Everyone has potential, everyone has dreams, but few people turn their one day into day one. A few people take their first step when no one is watching, when no one is cheering. But those who do, they separate themselves, they create momentum, they prove to themselves what they're truly capable of. And the more you act, the more you believe, the more you believe, the more you act. That's the cycle that leads to transformation. You are standing at a threshold. Behind you is the life you've known, the patterns, the doubts, the fears, the waiting. In front of you is a future full of possibility, of growth, of victories you haven't even imagined yet. The only thing that stands between the two is your decision, not your talent, not your luck, not your resources, just your decision. And once you make it, you'll realize that everything you needed was already within you. The courage, the fire, the drive, it's all there, buried beneath the hesitation, waiting to be set free. So breathe deep, feel the weight of this moment, and then release it, not with fear, but with power. Let this be the day everything shifts, not because of what you said, but because of what you did. You began, you chose, you moved. You finally stepped out of the shadows of waiting and into the light of becoming. This is your moment, this is your launch pad, this is your declaration to the world and to yourself. I will not wait another day. And as you move forward from this day, you'll notice something remarkable. You're no longer chasing inspiration. You're creating it. Every action you take reinforces a new identity. You stop needing external motivation because you start becoming internally driven. The same people who once doubted you will start asking how you did it. The same voices that told you to wait will fall silent in the face of your consistency, because consistency is louder than words, effort is louder than excuses, results speak louder than intentions. You will feel tired some days. You will feel discouraged. That's normal. Growth demands energy, but remind yourself in those moments that discomfort is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of progress. Pain is not a signal to quit. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your limits. Every time you push through when it would have been easier to stop, you build grit. You build mental toughness. You build a version of yourself that doesn't fold under pressure, but rises through it. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't. Not talent, not genius, but the ability to start and to keep going. The ability to keep showing up on the days when nothing feels magical, nothing feels exciting, but everything still matters. Because the compound effect of small, repeated actions is the most powerful force in personal transformation. One small victory, repeated daily, becomes a lifestyle, and a lifestyle becomes a legacy. You will look back one day and be grateful that you didn't wait for someone to rescue you, that you didn't wait for the stars to align, that you didn't wait for fear to disappear. You will be proud that you saved yourself by deciding to act, that you took full responsibility for your growth, that you made the shift from I wish to I will, from someday to today, from maybe to definitely. Because real growth begins when you realize that no one is coming to push you. You have to push yourself. And that doesn't mean doing it alone. It means choosing not to rely on outside circumstances to give you permission to begin. It means recognizing that day one is not a gift someone else gives you. It's a gift you give yourself. It's a moment of self-respect, of saying, I deserve better and I'm ready to work for it. Because you do deserve better. You deserve to wake up excited about your life. You deserve to feel strong, proud, fulfilled. But those things don't arrive by accident. They are earned one day at a time, starting right now. Don't fear the long road. Don't be intimidated by how far you still have to go. Focus instead on what's directly in front of you. What can you do today? What step can you take now? What promise can you keep to yourself before the sun goes down? The mountain will still be there tomorrow, but if you take even one step today, you'll already be closer than you were. That's how journeys are built, one solid step at a time, not with giant leaps, but with daily consistency. And the best part, you don't have to do it perfectly. Perfection is a lie that paralyzes progress. You just have to do it honestly, show up with your flaws, your doubts, your messiness, show up anyway, because action is what transforms fear into courage. Action is what turns confusion into clarity. Action is what makes your dream feel real. So stop waiting for the ideal version of yourself to show up. Start with who you are, where you are, with what you have. That's more than enough. You may not see the results right away. That's okay. You're planting seeds, and seeds take time. The growth is happening even when it's invisible. Trust that. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Every time you choose action over avoidance, every time you choose courage over comfort, you're building momentum. And momentum, once built, becomes unstoppable. It carries you through setbacks, around obstacles, and over mountains you once thought impossible. The person who started this journey is not the person who will finish it. You will evolve, you will shed old identities, you will rise above old fears, and with every step, your future will begin to take shape, not as a distant dream, but as a present reality, because day one leads to day two. And day two leads to week one. And before you know it, your life will be unrecognizable, not because everything changed overnight, but because you changed everything by showing up every day. This is your foundation. Your new standard. From this moment on, one day is no longer acceptable. From this moment on, every excuse dies, every delay ends, every lie that told you weren't ready becomes irrelevant, because you're not hoping anymore. You're doing. You're not watching from the sidelines. You're in the game. And that's where transformation happens. In the arena, in the action, in the courage to begin. So take a deep breath. Feel that energy rising. That's the power of commitment. That's the birth of a new you. Carry that with you into every room, every challenge, every decision. Remind yourself daily, this is not just a phase. This is not just a goal. This is who I am now, someone who moves, someone who starts, someone who finishes, someone who chooses today, every day, one day or day one. You've already chosen. You're already walking. And with every step, you're becoming more focused, more capable, more powerful than you've ever been. So keep going, keep building, keep becoming. Your future is unfolding, one brave decision at a time. There will be days ahead when you'll be tempted to go back to the familiar, days when your progress feels invisible. When the grind seems endless, when the voice in your head whispers, it's not working. But those are the moments that matter most. Those are the moments that test your decision, and those are the moments when you double down, not on motivation, but on your commitment. Because starting is hard, but staying the course is even harder. That's where most people give up, but not you, because you didn't choose one day. You chose day one. You chose a life of forward motion. And forward motion doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like showing up when no one is watching, pushing through when no one is clapping, doing the right thing even when no one cares. But those are the moments that count. They forge your strength in silence. They shape your character when no one is paying attention. They build a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. You don't have to match anyone's pace. You don't have to compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving, that you honor your own path, that you respect your own timeline. This is your race, your growth, your mountain. And while others may sprint ahead or veer off course, you stay focused, you stay disciplined, you stay grounded in your vision because you know exactly why you started. There will come a time when people see what you've built and call you lucky. But you'll know better. You'll know it wasn't luck. It was day one repeated 1,000 times. It was choosing to show up when it would have been easier to quit. It was putting in the work when no one was watching. It was refusing to let your future be dictated by fear, procrastination, or excuses. You'll know that every win was earned, not wished for. Every breakthrough was built on the back of 1,000 silent reps. And perhaps the most powerful thing you'll experience along the way is the realization that you didn't just change your results. You changed you. The person who started with uncertainty has become someone unshakable. The person who once doubted has now become a leader, a doer, a finisher, and that internal transformation, that shift in identity, that's what creates lasting impact. That's what changes not just your life, but the lives of everyone you influence. You don't become unstoppable by being perfect. You become unstoppable by being consistent, by refusing to let emotions rule your effort, by committing to the process long enough for it to change you. That's the beauty of day one. It teaches you to honor the now, to focus on what you can control, to let go of timelines and external pressure and just do the next right thing, every day with purpose. With humility, with grit, and over time you'll notice that you don't need to force yourself to take action. It becomes who you are, it becomes automatic. You become the kind of person who acts, who follows through, who keeps promises. And that identity is priceless. That identity is the true reward, not the medals, not the applause, but the quiet knowledge that you are living in alignment with your highest self, that you are no longer betraying your potential by waiting. You are no longer delaying the life you deserve. So when the road feels long, remember this: every master was once a beginner, every expert was once unsure, every success story began with a single, trembling step into the unknown, and every single one of them had a moment when they said, "Enough, I start now." This is your moment. You've said enough, you've had enough, you've waited enough, and now you start. And every time you wake up and take another step, you reinforce that decision. You add another page to your story, a story of ownership, of resilience, of greatness earned through discipline. Never forget, your day one doesn't end when the day ends. It lives on in your choices, in your thoughts, in your actions, in your persistence. Every day can be day one if you live with intention. Every moment can be the spark that reignites your fire. You are not confined to your past. You are not a victim of your delays. You are a powerful creator, a force for growth, a person with a mission, and that mission begins every single day with one simple question: will I move today? You've come this far not by accident, but by intention. Something inside you awakened. A quiet, powerful force stirred and said, "There's more." And you listened. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still reading. That's why, despite the setbacks, the failures, the doubt, and the fear, you're still moving forward. Because you finally realize that you are not meant for mediocrity. You're not designed to stay stuck in cycles of hesitation and regret. You're here to break patterns. You're here to rise. Day one is not a one-time event. It is a way of living, a declaration you make each morning when you open your eyes and choose action over excuse, progress over perfection, movement over stagnation. There will be people who don't understand your drive, who mock your intensity, who question your passion. Let them. That has nothing to do with you. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. Your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And it is yours to protect, to pursue, to realize. Each day you act on that vision. You train your mind to believe in possibility. You rewire your thoughts to align with courage and commitment. Your actions begin to reflect a deeper truth, that the life you want is not a fantasy, it's a choice. And with every choice you make in alignment with your highest self, you become stronger, more certain, more focused. You start becoming someone who doesn't just dream big, but backs it up with relentless action. You may not be able to control the outcomes right away. You may not see the rewards overnight, but you control your input. You control your consistency. You control your energy, your attitude, your discipline. And those things, those are the seeds, the invisible roots growing beneath the surface. And if you keep watering them with effort, the results will come. The transformation will come, the fruit will grow. And it will be worth every ounce of energy you invested. Never underestimate the power of one decision, repeated daily. That's what day one truly is, a choice repeated until it rewrites your destiny. It's the discipline to keep going when it feels like nothing is happening. It's the fire to take another step when you'd rather rest. It's the refusal to accept average when you know greatness lives inside you. And it's the quiet pride you carry when you realize you no longer need the world to validate you. You've validated yourself by doing the work. Let others wonder how you did it. Let them watch in awe as you continue to evolve. You'll know the truth, that it wasn't some dramatic turning point. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a flash of luck. It was one decision made repeatedly, consistently, faithfully. It was day one, again and again and again, until it became "This is who I am." That's what makes your journey different. That's what makes it unstoppable. So don't look back. Don't dwell on how long you waited or what you lost in the past. Look at who you're becoming. Look at how far you've come since you chose to begin. Let that fuel you. Let that ignite something new in you. You're no longer living in theory. You're living in practice. You're not just talking. You're doing. And doing is what changes everything. There's a world waiting to see what happens when you go all in. A world that needs your gifts, your voice, your fire. But most importantly, you need to see what happens when you stop playing small, when you stop doubting, when you stop waiting for the perfect moment and instead create the moment. This is the rise, this is the shift, this is what it feels like to take back control, and from here the possibilities are infinite. You don't need more time, you just need to keep showing up, and as you do, every area of your life begins to transform. Your habits, your confidence, your clarity, your sense of purpose. It all expands when you honor the commitment you made to yourself the day you said, "This is my day one." Let that be your anthem. Let that be your identity. Not someday, not one day, but now, day one, over and over again, until it becomes who you are, until the change is undeniable, until the momentum is unstoppable, until you wake up and realize that you're no longer waiting to become something. You are becoming something. This is your reminder, your permission, your confirmation. You are exactly where you need to be, and what you do next will define everything. And yes, you are just getting started. Because this isn't about finishing a chapter, it's about turning the page, again and again, with unshakable belief that the story only gets better from here. Every action you take from your new starting point builds a foundation for a life that reflects your courage, not your comfort. Every decision from here forward either honors the path you've chosen or distracts you from it, and you are no longer someone who allows distractions to win. You've made too much progress to stop now. You've come too far mentally, emotionally, spiritually to turn back. Even on the hard days, especially on the hard days, you will continue, because the hardest days don't break you anymore, they forge you. They reveal how strong you've become. Where you used to fold, now you fight. Where you used to delay, now you move. Where you used to wait for clarity, now you create momentum. There will be moments when you doubt this journey. That's normal. There will be voices that whisper, "What's the point?" But your answer is simple: freedom. The freedom to build the life you want. The freedom to become the person you were always meant to be. The freedom to wake up and live aligned with your values, your goals, your highest standard. And that freedom is never free. It's paid for with discipline, sacrifice, and unwavering consistency. You're not chasing ease. You're chasing expansion, and the amazing thing, you are inspiring others even when you don't know it. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, someone notices. Every time you show up when it's hard, someone sees. And even if they never say it, they feel it. Your decision to rise becomes a ripple effect. Your fire sparks something in them. That's leadership, not by title, but by example, not with noise, but with action. Your commitment becomes contagious. Your courage becomes a catalyst. You're not just building a life, you're building a legacy, one that echoes in your family, your friends, your community, one that speaks louder than words ever could. And it all started with one moment, one decision, one day one. That's all it ever takes. Not perfection, not years of preparation, just the willingness to say today, "I begin," and what you begin, you will finish. That's the new contract, no more half-done dreams, no more abandoned goals, no more self-betrayal. From this day forward, your word is law. Your promises to yourself matter. You've lived long enough in the shadow of potential. Now you step into the light of purpose, of pursuit of personal power. Every next level of your life will demand a higher version of you. But now you welcome that. You no longer fear challenge, you invite it. You no longer hide from pressure, you thrive in it. Why? Because you've become the kind of person who knows that growth comes not when it's easy, but when it's earned, when it's demanded, when it's chosen. And you've chosen. You've already crossed the invisible line between wishing and doing. That decision makes you rare. That persistence makes you powerful. And the more you lean into it, the more unstoppable you become. So the next time doubt creeps in, the next time your old self tries to whisper, maybe tomorrow, silence it with action, prove it wrong with effort, crush it with momentum, because tomorrow doesn't exist in your vocabulary anymore. You've replaced it with something much stronger, something far more powerful, today, not one day, this day, day one. And with every day that you keep showing up, keep pushing forward, keep taking those steps, small or large, you prove something priceless to yourself, that your past does not define your future. Your delays do not disqualify your potential. And your current reality is only the launching pad for something extraordinary. And as you move deeper into this journey, you'll begin to realize something profound. You are no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You are creating it, molding it, shaping it. One deliberate decision at a time. The phrase day one becomes more than a motivator. It becomes your lifestyle. It becomes the standard by which you measure every moment. Every sunrise greets you not with pressure, but with possibility. Every challenge no longer feels like a burden. It feels like a proving ground, because you've shifted your identity from someone who hesitates into someone who executes. Someone who starts, someone who continues, someone who finishes. Momentum becomes your ally. It may begin as a whisper, a soft encouragement to just try, but with every repetition, with every act of courage, that whisper grows louder until it becomes a roar inside you. A relentless drive, a personal revolution. The fears that once ruled you now retreat at the sound of your footsteps. The self, doubt that once made you shrink, now flees in the face of your persistence. And the procrastination that used to stall your dreams now shatters beneath the weight of your forward motion. Day one has turned into day 2, day 10, day 50. You look back and you barely recognize the person who was once stuck. And it's not because you're so far from who you were. It's because you've finally embraced who you were always meant to be. You've broken through illusions. You've left behind the mental chains. You've walked away from the excuses. And in doing so, you've stepped into power. You now understand that progress is never about perfection. It's about showing up. It's about staying in the ring. It's about giving your best, even when your best doesn't feel good enough, because you're consistent, not good enough. Beats inconsistent brilliance every time. The world is full of people who had talent but never acted. You are not one of them, you act. You move, you grow. You keep building when others break down. There will still be setbacks. Of course there will. Life does not promise ease just because you've committed to growth. But the difference now is how you respond. Where you used to spiral, now you ground yourself. Where you used to flee, now you face it. Where you used to crumble, now you adapt, and that shift, that internal resilience, is the true mark of transformation. People may ask what your secret is. They'll want to know the key to your energy, your fire, your focus. But you'll smile because you'll know the truth. The secret is no secret at all. It's the simplest, most powerful truth in the world. You stopped waiting. You decided to begin. You chose day one. And then you chose it again. And again, and again, until it became who you are. And now no one can take that from you. No loss, no failure, no delay can undo the foundation you've built. Because this isn't motivation anymore. It's momentum. It's mission. It's muscle memory. You don't need to talk yourself into action. You are action. You don't need to search for direction. You are the compass. You don't need to beg for results. You earn them. Even if no one claps, even if no one notices, even if no one understands, you keep moving because you weren't doing it for applause. You were doing it for alignment, for peace, for purpose, and those things are far more valuable than external praise. Day one has now become your baseline, your default setting, your internal command to rise. It has become the voice that says, I don't care what happened yesterday, today I begin again. And that is what makes you unstoppable. That's what separates you from the crowd. That's what transforms your goals from fantasy into reality. You're not driven by hype anymore. You're driven by discipline. You're not chasing motivation anymore. You've mastered the art of motion. You don't need permission. You've given yourself the authority to build, to lead, to thrive. And every single morning, you'll continue to look yourself in the mirror and say, it's day one, because it keeps you humble. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you present. It reminds you that the race isn't over, the climb isn't done, and the vision is still alive. There's more to do, more to give, more to become, and when you stumble, and you will, you'll rise again. Because that's what day one warriors do. They don't stay down, they don't wallow, they don't surrender, they rise, they adjust, they learn, and they keep moving, because the journey never ends, and neither does your growth, because day one is more than just the beginning. It is the discipline to begin again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. That's your strength now. You don't break, you reset. You don't run, you reframe. You don't wait, you act, and that ability to continuously choose yourself, your path, your potential, that is rare, that is powerful, that is the root of greatness. You've seen now what consistency does. You've tasted the pride that comes not from having everything figured out, but from refusing to quit when things get messy. You've felt the shift, the internal click that happens when you realize you are no longer at the mercy of motivation. You've become the force, you've built the fire, and now when others stall, you start. When others second, guess, you decide. When others wish, you work. This is what separates the few from the many, the doers from the dreamers, the disciplined from the distracted. And you've chosen to stand with the few. You've chosen to walk the harder road because you know the reward is not just external success, but internal mastery. You want the kind of life that can't be taken from you because it was earned from within. The excuses are still there, the distractions haven't disappeared, the obstacles still exist, but now none of those things own you. You own you, you've taken the wheel, you've stopped waiting for the perfect mood, the right time, the ideal environment. You are the right time. You create the environment, you command the mood, you've become the kind of person who creates progress under any condition. And do you know what's coming? Not just progress, breakthroughs. That's the reward for those who keep choosing day one. Breakthroughs that were once unimaginable, results that used to seem impossible. Growth you once doubted was in you, all of it is waiting, and the only price is your daily choice to begin. You'll notice something else too. Your confidence is no longer fragile. It doesn't rely on compliments or outside validation. It's built from your actions, it's rooted in truth. It's earned from doing the hard thing even when no one is watching. You stand taller not because the world told you to, but because you earned it, step by step, decision by decision. People will ask for your secret. They'll wonder how you built this focus, this fire, this freedom, and you'll tell them, I stopped waiting, I chose to start, I chose day one. And that simple truth will resonate because most people are still stuck in one day. They are still hoping, still wishing, still postponing, and when they see what's possible when you flip that switch, some of them will follow, not because you told them to, but because you lived it in front of them. That's what leadership really is. That's what legacy looks like. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's consistent, it's grounded, it's steady. You become the calm in the chaos, the focused in the noise, the light in the fog. You become a reminder that it's never too late to begin again. Even if yesterday was a failure day, today is still day one. Even if no one supports you, today is still day one. Even if you're tired, behind, or doubting, today is still day one, because this mindset cannot be broken. It can't be delayed. It can't be taken away unless you surrender it. And that's something you no longer do. You've trained your mind to begin. You've trained your spirit to rise. You've trained your heart to endure. And now day one isn't hard, it's home, it's not resistance, it's rhythm, it's not a mountain, it's movement. You don't need a perfect plan anymore, you just need the next step, and after that, another. That's how the impossible becomes inevitable. That's how the dream becomes real. That's how you go from stuck to soaring. So keep showing up, keep starting, keep choosing, because you've already won. The day you decided to stop waiting, the day you made your day one choice, that was your turning point, and now everything you want is just a matter of persistence, of time, of faith, of grind. You don't need luck. You don't need hype. You don't need permission. You've got what most never build, the decision to act. And once you've made that decision over and over again, you'll realize the truth that changes everything. You were never waiting on life. Life was waiting on you, and now that you've started, there's no going back, because this is your day one, and it always will be.